Hello, my name is Keshwani. It's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for the GMAT. We have been solving GMAT math problems out of this book here, GMAT Review, the official guide, the 13th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 159, and today is our lesson number 61. The problem that we are about to solve is on page number 159, as I just said, and it is problem number 56. The penultimate problem on the page, second to the last problem on the page. Just give me a second here, it comes up every time. Day 11. If you're interested in learning this word penultimate along with some other useful words to help you improve the vocabulary, you can watch my vocabulary videos. Just type in my name, Keshwani, and then type in vocabulary day 11, and you will learn this word along with some other words in the vocabulary videos, as I said. So penultimate problem on the page, second to the last problem, that's what it means. Number 56, it says 4 staff members. So we have 4 people. Let's christen them. Let's christen them. When did we learn the word christen? And what does the word christen mean actually? Christen has metaphorical meaning and it has a literal meaning. Literally, of course, christen means to baptize somebody in Christianity. That's the literal meaning. Metaphorically, it simply means to give somebody a name. Let's christen them. Let's call them A, B, C, D, so that it's easy for us to talk about them. Again, if you want to learn this word along with some other words, same routine. Just type in my name, Keshwani, and then vocabulary day number 63, and you will learn the word christen. Let's christen them. Let's christen them. A, B, C, and D. We are told that they work in the ratio of 2 to 3 to 5 to 6, and we are told that one worked 30 hours. They're telling us that one of these 4 people worked 30 hours. They do not tell us which one. That's the whole point. The question simply is, which of the following cannot be the total number of hours cannot be which one? And here are the choices: A, B, C, D, and E. We are told that A is 80, 96, 160, 192, and 240. The very first thing you will notice is that it's not quite as simple and straightforward as you might think at first. If you were to add up all the parts here, the total parts are 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 5 is 6, 5 plus 5 is 10, 10 plus 6 is 16. There are 16 total parts, and you will realize soon that every one of them is a multiple of 16. This is 16 times 5, this is 16 times 6, this is 16 times 10, 192. Let's see how many times 192 goes into 16. 192 divided by 16. How many 16 in 19? How many 16 in 19? 19 has 116. The remaining 3 goes and joins this guy, becomes 32. How many 16 in 32? 32 has 2 16. As you can see, it's a multiple of, everything is a multiple of 16. And finally 240 divided by 16. How many 16 in 24? 24 has 116. The remaining 8 goes and joins this guy, becomes 80. How many 16 in 80? 80 has 5 16s. As you can see, if you thought that it was just a simple matter of finding out which one of them is not a multiple of 16, alas, that is not the case. It is not as simple as that. So we will have to do some more work. It is not quite as straightforward. So here's what we have to do. Here's what we have to do. Question is, could A be the one with 30 hours? Could A be the one who worked 30 hours? Well, A is 2 parts. So 2 times 15 is 30. If he worked 30 hours, then it has to be multiple of 15. Which one is the multiple of 15 here? There it is. That one is a multiple of 15. So that is a possibility. It is possible for A to work 30 hours because had A worked 30 hours, we would have needed a multiple. We would have needed a multiple of 15. Total part is 16, and if A worked 30 hours, then our ratios would be 2 times 15, which is 30. Therefore, this has to be 16 times 15. Is there any of these 16 times 15? Right here, 240 works. So that is a possibility. 240 is a possible number of hours work. Let's ask B. Let's ask B. Could B be the person who worked 30 hours? Well, let's find out. B has a ratio of 3. So if that were the case, it will be 3 times 15 to get the 30, in which case we need a multiple of, 3 times 10. In which case we need a multiple of 10. The total part is 16. 10 times 16 is 160. 160 is possibility. Is there 160 right here? 160 is a possibility. Let's continue here on the top. Could C be the person who worked 30 hours? Well, C is 5. C has 5 parts. In order for it to work 30 hours, each part is worth 6 hours, because 5 times 6 is 30. So we need a multiple of 6. Is there a multiple of 6? Oh, right here, there is a multiple of 6 here. So that one is a possibility. Could D have worked? Find out. Let's find out. I need the room. Could D be the person who works 30 hours? Well, D, we are told, what were the ratios? D was 6. So here 6 times 5 is 30. We need to multiply it by 5. We need to multiply it by 5. And 5 times 16, the total parts. Remember, the total parts were 16. Total parts were 16, and if each part is worth 5 hours, then the total number of hours must be 80. There you go, voila. The guy who is left is 192. 192 is not possible. We took care of all the 4 guys. It is possible for A to work 30 hours. If that were the case, if A worked 30 hours, then each part must work 15 hours. Each part must be made up of 15 hours. 15 times 16 is this guy, 15 times 16. If B had worked 30 hours, then each part would have worked 10 hours. Because his is 3 parts. Each part must have worked 10 hours. 10 times 3 is 30 hours. 30 hours. And here, each part is worth 10 hours. So if that were the case, and since total number of parts is 16, 16 times 10 is 160. So that is a possibility. This was times 15, this was times 10. So this was times 15, that was the first one right here. And then we had times 10, which is this guy right here, times 10. And then we ask ourselves for C. Would C be the one who worked 30 hours? Had that been the case, then each part would have been worth 6 hours. 6 times 16, that's this guy right here, 6 times 16. And finally, could D be the person who worked 30 hours? The answer is yes, he could have been the one who worked 30 hours, because in that case, each part would have been 5 hours. And 5 times 16 is 80. The only thing that does not work is 192. And do you know why it does not work, 192? Because in order for it to be 192, each part would have to work 12 hours. In order for answer to be D, each part would have to be worth 12 hours. Okay, let's continue here. On the top, I'm going to explain it. We already found the answer. The answer is D. I'm just answer is D, but I'm just explaining to you why it is D. For the answer to be D, each part would have had to worth 12, because it's 16 times 12. Total parts are 16. 12 hours. But we are told that one person worked 30 hours. We are told that one person worked 30 hours. 30 cannot be divided evenly by 12. 30 cannot be divided evenly by 12. My handwriting is getting quite atrocious. 30 cannot be divided by 12. It doesn't go evenly. But we know for a fact that everybody worked in this ratio. A, B, C, and D. They all worked in the ratio of 2, 3, 5, and 6. 2, 3, 5, and 6. Watch what happens. Okay, watch what happens. If each person, if that were the case, if D were the case, if the total number of hours were 190, then since 192 means, since there are 16 parts altogether, 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 5 is 10, 10 plus 6 is 16, there are 16 parts altogether total. 16 parts. There are 16 parts, and in order for D to be the answer, each part would have to be worth 12 hours, in which case it would have meant that A worked 24 hours, B worked 36 hours, C works 12 times 5 is 60, and D worked 12 times 6 is 72 hours. And if you add them all up, you will get you 192 hours. But as you can see, in that scenario, nobody has worked 30 hours. But we are told that one of the person worked 30 hours. So it is impossible for total number of hours to be 192, because 192 gives us a multiple of 12. And 30 does not divide evenly by 12. And that's what the answer is. Should we do one more? Do you feel like doing one more or no? Let's do one more. Let's do next one. That's it, we're done with this one. I think we already spoke enough about it. I want to do one more. I want to do one more because it's the last one on the page, and if I don't do it right now, then I'll have to make a separate video for that one last problem, because I don't like to mix up problems from two different page numbers, because then it creates problem with the tags in the YouTube. Because this one is going to be tagged, this tag is going to be for page 159, you understand? It says company B has 15% more employees in December than in January. Alright, so here is 57. So we have 15% more in December than in January. We are also told that there were 460 in December. We were told that there were 460 employees in December. The question is very simple. The question is, how many employees do we have in January? That's all it is. How many people do we have in January? If we had 15% more people in December, and we are told that there were 460 people in December, how many do we have in January? It's very simple. Very straightforward solution. If we let x be the number of people in January. If we let x be the number of people in January, then this 460 that we see here, this 460 that we see there, then the 460 represents 115% of x. 460 represents 115% of x, because if x is the number of people, in January, then in December we had 15% more. And in December it was 460, so this 460 represents 115% of x. This 460 represents 115% of x, because in December we had 15% more. That's what it is. All we have to do is solve for x, that's all. So 460 represents, means equals, 115% means over 100, of means times, of means multiply, of means times x. That's it. We just have to solve for x. So x equals 100 times 460, 460 times 100 over 115. Over 115. Let's divide top and bottom by 5. So this becomes 20, this becomes 23. Oh, how nice of them, isn't it? It's very nice, because 46 is twice 23. That's it. It's 20 times 20, which is 400. Which makes perfect sense. Because 10% of 400 is 40, and 5% of 400. If 10% of 400 is 40, then it stands to reason that 5% must be 20. If you add them up, that comes out to be 60, which means because of the fact that they had 15% more people in December, and we just found out that they had 400 people in January, and if they had 15% more people in December, then they must have 60 more people in December, making it a grand total of 460 for December. Voila. So life finally makes sense. This is about bloody time. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? I know.